If you're a web designer and you think you need a website for your portfolio and it's just taking you forever, the bottom line is I think you're wasting your time. And in this video, I will tell you exactly why I think that and what is the most effective way to market yourself, in my humble opinion, so you can stop procrastinating and finally get your portfolio out. Let's go. Hello my friends, if you're new to this channel, my name is Adrian Somoza, nice to meet you. I focus on teaching advanced web design and business skills, so if you want to stay up to date with my latest videos, remember to subscribe and enable notifications. So, like I said, I don't think you need a website. Now, I get it, right? You're a web designer, so you're trying to create a website to show that you can do websites, right? It does make sense, but I have talked to so many designers that have spent money, time, and energy, right? Hundreds to thousands of dollars, late nights, weekends, holidays, sweat and tears, trying to create their own portfolio. And then perfectionism kicks in, right? And so now you see the website again after a couple of days and you feel insecure about what you've created. It doesn't make sense, there's problems coming up and you're realizing that it's not at the level that it should be, right? And so now you're not posting it and you're postponing your decision forever. So what if I told you that there's a more efficient way to do this, and it's so simple that you're gonna just laugh probably, and it's post your work to social media. And I don't have one reason for this, I have 6. So let me give you those 6 reasons. So number 1, clients use social media. So it's very unlikely that clients are going to land on your website through a Google search. Let's face it, right? And it's very likely, on the other hand, that clients are going to be able to find you through Behance, Dribbble, Instagram, or LinkedIn, right? Social networks. Now, Behance and Dribbble are niche social networks, and it's going to be much easier for clients to find you there because it's more likely that clients are going to be looking for web designers in niche social medias than it is for clients to look for web designers in generic social medias like, for example, Instagram. One proof of this is a guy that has like 30k followers on Instagram and just 12k followers on Behance, right? Less than half. But he's still getting more leads from Behance. Why? Because again, like I told you, clients are more active on niche social networks like Behance and Dribbble. Number two, clients know how to consume content on social media. So your website has a different interface. Most likely, you're just adding noise to the process of the client having to consume your content in a different way from what they are used to, right? They are used to browsing through just clicking on a project, having a pop-up and scrolling, right? And that's a very easy interaction. They just close with an escape button and they go to the next project or the next profile. So they're used to do that, and you're just taking them out of that context and having them use a very different interface, so it doesn't make sense for them. Number 4, it's easy to show you can design websites with just a simple image, right? You just upload an image with your presentation of the website, you know, if you did animations, if there's a typographic system, if you know there's a color system, grids, whatever you want to show that you did. It's very easy to just post images and show that you can do a website. You don't have to create a website to show that you can do it. Number 5, it's free, right? At least Behance is. It's free to post on Behance. Number 6, it's easy to update. So there's no limitations, right? You think of something, you prepare the presentation, boom, you post it. There's no friction between creating the presentation and just posting and updating the website. Granted, you know, there's templates and things like that you can use for your website, but it's much easier to use a platform that is created for that purpose. Okay, so now you might say, right, but Adrian, you have a website yourself. Like, how can you tell us that we don't need a website, right? And I have 2 reasons why I have a website. First of all, I didn't have a website for the first 12 years of my career. And all my, web design career and just digital design career, I used social networks. And I have like 9K, that, the numbers show. I have 9K followers on Behance. I have 14K followers on YouTube, 13K on Dribbble. And you get the point, right? Like, I've been very active on social network up until last year. The second thing is my clients are web designers, so they care a lot about websites, right? And so it does make sense to create a website for, on the other hand, I have a business. I'm not a web designer anymore who offers services to clients. I have a business that is mentoring designers, right? And so it does make sense for me as a business to have a website. So having said that, how can you prepare your portfolio? So let's say that I convinced you and now you're ready to take action. So here are 5 tips to prepare your portfolio. Jam-packed with action, so make sure you take notes, and there's also going to be a resource, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so number 1, be present on all social networks, right? But focus on growing on Behance at least to 5K followers before moving to a new social network. So that's really important, because if you're spreading things and creating content for different social networks, it's going to be much more difficult for you to update each time that you create a project. The idea is that it's as easy as possible for you to create a project and you just post, okay? So remove the friction, post as often as possible. Number 2, update your profiles. So that means Behance, Dribbble, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Okay, you should be present at least on those 4, so they also match between each other, and that brings more credibility to your online presence. Now I'm going to tell you how you can how you should update your profiles. There's 3 things, okay, when updating your profiles. Number 1, and this is so important, have one clear offer. So your offer should be crystal clear. Cut through the noise, okay? Empathize with the client that is scouring through dozens of profiles, and it's landing on yours, and they are asking, right? Can they help me or can they not help you, right? And so that answer should be very clear. It should be yes or no. So just put web design in your services, okay? This will also help you position yourself as an expert, okay? So the rule is that experts are not generalists. To be a generalist is contradicting from being an expert, okay? The reason is that it takes 10,000 hours to be a pro at something. 10,000 hours means 5 years full time. So by definition, if you say you're an expert in 3 or more fields, you're just most likely exaggerating. But if you say you're an expert on one thing, that's much easier to believe, okay? So there are a few exceptions, right? But the exception proves the rule. There are some people that have mastered 2, 3 things, right? Those little exceptions prove that there's a rule. And the rule is that most likely you're not going to be able to become an expert in 3 things. When someone lands on your website, the answer of is this the person I can work with that can solve my problems should be crystal clear, should be yes or no. If it's a fuzzy answer, you lost the battle. If you say, I do SEO, copywriting, brand strategy, and web design, this and blah, 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 right? You lost me. I'm just scouring through the internet, looking at profiles all the time, and I need to know very fast if you're going to be a fit for my search or not, okay? So answer the most important question as fast as possible. Just put web design on the services listed and remove product design, branding, UI UX, SEO, copywriting, web development, all of that. Just remove it, leave web design, okay? Now, the second thing I want you to do is hide, archive, or delete any old work that doesn't represent your level anymore or is not web design work. Okay, I know this hurts a lot and it's going to be difficult, but you're going to see the results. Number 2, be transparent. So that means upload a profile picture of yourself with clean background. So let me show you what I mean with that, right? And also let me show you what I mean with the previous one. So here you can see my profile, right? And you see my profile picture. It's a very clean photo. You see my face, right? I don't have a hat. I don't have it, like, it's a very transparent photo. And I also have web designer here, right? And here you should have linked your other social medias, right? It should be properly linked here, so that if a client, right, they prefer to connect on LinkedIn and DM you there, they can do that. Or if they prefer to use Instagram for DMs, they can do that as well, right? Make it easy for your clients to find you and to connect with you. Business is and will always be about relationships. So showing your face builds connection. And the other thing is it makes you look more trustworthy. If you just have a color, right, or a letter, or just a logo, right, or something that doesn't show your face because your face is covered, right, don't get too artistic. That's my personal opinion. Like, don't get too artistic, be transparent and show your face. Number 3, add a description of yourself. So the goal of this is to respond proactively to common questions like, are you a freelancer? Do you work at an agency or not? Do you have a specific niche you're interested in? And also, don't make your clients ask you these common questions, right? If you don't answer these questions up front, you risk looking like an amateur. So those are some of the things you can do to update your profiles. Now let's move on to the third tip to create your portfolios, which is your portfolio is your steering wheel. So post what you want to get hired for and don't post what you don't want to get hired for. It's a very simple formula, right? But it works super well. So do you want to get hired for immersive websites? Then post immersive websites and don't post cookie cutter websites, right? Even if you poured your sweat and tears into this 3-month project that is just looks like a cookie cutter website, just don't post it. It's better to post an exercise of something that is super immersive and the type of project that you want to get hired for than to just post something because you did it and you just want to post something, right? So make sure that you're posting the type of work that you want to get hired for. If you want to get hired for museum websites, then post those type of projects. Don't post architecture websites. So make sure that you use your steering wheel, which is the type of work you post, very wisely. Tip number 4, just post exercises. You don't need client work. So I don't have any client work. Like, if you take a look at my portfolio, you will see that all of this work is just concepts, and exercises, okay? If you have client work, of course, it's better, right? But it's not a must. Your exercise work is gonna, like I said, attract the type of projects that you want to get hired for, right? Clients hire you for the things that you show you can do. So if you show you can do an architecture website, clients who are architects are gonna hire you. If you don't show that that you can do an architecture website, clients are gonna wonder if you can do it, even though it's obvious that you can do it, right? But clients are gonna wonder if you can do it or not. Okay, and tip number 5, just do it. Just do it, right? Put a timeline to create the first post, okay? And then keep posting. Keep a schedule and keep posting. Put progress over your perfectionism, right? It's more important to show your progress than to show the perfect design that you did, right? Nobody cares if it's perfect or not, because it's never gonna be perfect, okay? So you will never be satisfied with your work. That's something you gotta live with. You gotta get used to posting with a feeling of unsatisfaction, with a feeling of like, oh, I could have done that better. Because you know what? That work is out there and it's working for you. And now you can concentrate on the next one and the next one and the next one. And you're gonna be improving each design as you progress and as you post, but you will realize that at the same time you're gonna be reaping the rewards of posting, okay? So just post your work in progress and start reaping the rewards. And last but not least, right, I wanted to show you an example of a great Behance portfolio. So take a look at this, right? Clean profile picture, clean name, Very clear what he does. He's a digital designer. It's a little bit different. I would personally think he would benefit from saying he's just a web designer, because if you take a look at his portfolio, he's basically a web designer, right? So his focus is on websites. He's not doing web apps, for example, product design. But he can get away with digital designer. He has like 12,000 followers here, and of course his work is just killer, and it's been featured in so many galleries, right? Inside of Behance, he has all his social media connected, right? And if you go, for example, to any other of his social media accounts, you will also see, right, that he's using the same profile picture, and that gives a lot of credibility. This is a great example of a very effective portfolio. He's a friend of mine, and shout out to you, man, Ron, for the great work that you're doing. And I wanted to show you this as an example. Just by landing on this portfolio, you just realize this is a top-notch designer. He has a lot of social proof. There's really no risk, right? It's very difficult for you to go wrong with a profile like this. Okay, so if you want to go much deeper with the process of preparing your portfolio, what I prepared is a free course called the Web Design Booster to teach you the strategy that helped me get my first job, and that I kept applying to get hired at MediaMonks, RGA, and get offered jobs at Apple and Microsoft, as well as get great freelance clients. So the course also has a checklist with a step-by-step strategy. So make sure to check it out in the link below. And if you're ready to pick your web design skills and learn how to monetize them so you can have more freedom to do the things that you love, then click the link below to apply to my signature mentorship program, the Web Design Masterclass. If you're qualified, I will schedule a call with you so we can chat and decide if it's the right fit for you. We connect weekly. We have group coaching calls with me, and I give feedback on their design work, and I respond to every question, and it's just a beautiful community with like-minded designers, so that you don't feel alone anymore in this process of becoming an award-winning level web designer and being profitable in your career. So I look forward to seeing you there. And that's it for today's video. Hope you found it valuable, and as always, let's bridge the gap one pixel at a time. Take a look at this video next to learn how to get more web design clients.